Bhavanya. That means Lord Shiva's wife, or Parvati, Sati in this case. Nidanam Prajapate, Daksha Prajapati. So this is in between. This Maitreya is explaining to Vidura about three personalities here: Lord Shiva, Lord Shiva's wife Sati, and then Prajapati Daksha. What did Daksha do? How did he insult? So Asat Kritaya, there is a Kriti means activity, Dushkriti means activity which is not in line with Shastra, Sadhu, and Guru and the Lord. That is Dushkriti or Asat Kriti. Sat means it is eternal, permanent, aligned with Sadhu, Shastra, Guru. Asat means opposite, which is not in line. Then naturally the reaction is there. Avagamya Naradat, who has told, Narada has informed of the incident has happened when Swati quit her life, quit her body because of this personality, Prajapati Daksha. What did he do? Swaparsha, not only he did that, when Sati quit her job, he was just simply watching. He didn't do anything. He didn't stop her doing that, giving up her body, even though he was the father. Imagine. Father is right there and children is suffering and he's simply watching, not doing anything. So it's just mind blowing. You can't even understand how can one do that. How much heart is so blocked, so what do you call stagnated or stamba, pride, false ego. So then only you can not do anything by simply watching somebody suffering and you don't do anything. You don't help. So not only that, he arranged all these associates, Bhrigu and all are there. Lord Shiva's associates were there with Sati. Lord Shiva was at home, and then they basically threw them out as well. Even more worse. That is, they're already going through suffering, seeing Lord Shiva's wife giving up the body. On top of it, they sent them out, throw them out. Like Srivas Thakur was thrown by Devananda Pandit's disciple. Devananda Pandit didn't do anything, simply watching. So he will also become a culprit. Implication will come to anybody who is watching, not doing anything about it. Everybody, whoever is there, everybody will get the reaction, whether he is directly involved or not directly involved. So that is the implication here. Swa Parshada Sainyam Chatad Advara Arbubir. Arbubir means Bhrigu has created these demigods to send these Lord Shiva's associates away. So throw them away. So Vidravitam, so they are thrown away. So Vidravitam Krodam, then it became, when Narada told this news to Lord Shiva, then Lord Shiva became angry. That's what Krodam Aparam Adade. Let's read again. That is the context in which, and what is the instruction, we will have to see from Sri Prabhupada purport. Maitreya Vacha Bhavo Bhavanya Nidaram Prajapater Asatkritaya Avagamya Naradan Swaparshad Sainyam Chatat Advara Arbuvir Vidravitam Krodam Aparam Adade. Word to word. Maitreya Vacha. Maitreya said, Bhava, Lord Shiva, Bhavanya Sati, Nidanam, the death, Prajapate, because of Prajapati Daksha, Asatkritaya, having been insulted, Avagamya, hearing about, Narada, from Narada. So Narada always, whenever there is a need, he is always there to incite, inspire, make the pastime quick, bring it to somebody's attention. So Swa Parshada Sainyam, the soldiers of his own associates, Cha and Tat Advara, produced from his Daksha sacrifice, Arbhavi, by the Arbhu demigods, Vidravitam, were driven away. Krodam, anger, aparam, unbounded, Adade, short. Translation by Juvenges, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Maitreya said, when Lord Shiva heard from Narada that Sati, his wife, was now dead because of Prajapati Daksha's insult, this is the main point in this whole verse. When we compare the other examples in Srimad Bhagavatam Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, this is the main point, insulting. Insulting of the law, especially any living entity for that matter, but especially insulting a devotee. So Lord's confidence also is even more worse, that is. Daksha's insult to her, and that his soldiers had been driven away by the Arbhu demigods. He became greatly angry. Maitreya said, when the Lord Shiva heard from Narada, that Sati, his wife, was now dead because of Prajapati Daksha's insult to her, and that his soldiers had been driven away by the Arbhu demigods, he became greatly angry. Purport Bishop Prabhupada. For that, let us chant the prayers. I'll forget. Om Jnanatimrandasya Gnananjana Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Mokam Karayoti Vachalam Pangum Rangayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Sri Gurum Dinataranam Paramanandamadavam Sri Chaitanya Yesam Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhayavasya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Nandaguru Vaishnava ki Jai Namacharya Das Thakur ki Jai Penjago Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Sri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Rupa Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. So 451 we are reading where this pastime has been described, how Lord Shiva became angry of hearing from Narada, how his wife and his associates have been insulted. Wife so give up her body because of Daksha's insulting. So actually, Lord Shiva already told Sati, don't go because this is the situation. He understood what is going to happen, what is the characteristic of Daksha. He never liked from the beginning. He didn't want to give his daughter to Brahma, had told. Then only he could give it. Even after doing that also, still he was in the same mood, same behavior. It is similar to Indra. Indra became so proud. Garva vivarjita. Give up. Now be situated in your position, do your work on behalf of me. Don't be attached to your position and don't become proud. Don't repeat this mistake, Lord Krishna was telling to Indra when he lifted Govardhan hill. But he had still that offense. Immediately after a few months or so, he did the same thing. When Lord Krishna came to take the parijat of flower tree for Satyabhama, then he became, so again, he is fighting with the Lord. He forgot whatever just happened. He forgot that. Prabhupada was writing in that purport. This is the same thing with Haridas Thakur. So with Gopal Chapal insulting. Or Ramachandra Khan, that is a perfect example. He became envious of Haridas Thakur. He turned a prostitute. So there's a great. But Haridas Thakur is such an exalted personality. He could convert. He could transform that prostitute as well. He knew what is going to, what is happening. Ramachandra Khan, what is he devising? But he wantedly gave his audience and converted and transformed that person. And because of that sinful activity of Ramachandra Khan, that behavior, naturally had to see the consequences. He did that even with the Lord. Lord Nityananda Prabhu came to that place and the way he acted impudently. So there is no place for him to let him go to the place where the servant Sudras will be there. In that place, there is no place here. In Chandi Mandap, there is no place for him to stay here with his associates. This is not enough place. Let him stay in the cow shed. For the Lord. It's just, you can't even think how one can say that. And then as soon as he did that, Lord Nityananda laughed. Just like Lord Shiva laughs when he comes at the end of Tandava Nritya, when at the time of annihilation, exactly. Because he's getting the same, because his master is Lord Balaram. So that's why Lord Shiva also does the same thing. So so naturally he laughed it and immediately consequences, he left. And that place is deserted like anything. In just very quickly, rapidly, that whole place, whole town, nobody stayed. Nobody stayed. Everything became so deserted. So because of the consequences, so of the insult to a great Vaishnava, and the Lord doesn't generally tolerates. He doesn't care so much about himself. But when it is done for the Lord's devotees, your Sati is the Lord's devotee. She is Vaishnavi. So there is a temple in Jammu and Kashmir, right? So and she has many temples. Durga Devi's temples are there. So she's a great devotee. Lord Jagannath appeared, giving his first mercy to her to distribute prasadam. As a mother of all the living entities in this world, she is so very merciful. She wanted all the mercy of the Lord to be distributed. So Vimala Devi. So and this is happening to her. Then how Lord Shiva can tolerate this insult? And not only on driving them away, his associates. It's even further worse. Already situation is worse, he couldn't tolerate, and on top of it, did that. And then how much, so Lord Shiva has to deal with this. And same thing has happened in Kauravas, Duryodhana and party has done the same thing. Lord Balaram has given even mercy to Duryodhana to train him up. He did that and he forgot everything. He forgot everything. So that's what happens. The so-called morality, so-called honesty, so-called Manav se, Madhav se, all this nothing will work because minute you don't put Krishna in the center, Sadhu Guru is in the center of the life, there is no way you can become honest. You can always have cheating mentality, envious, jealousy, all everything will be there. So when the Guru and Sadhu and Krishna is in the center of our day in, day out, then only you can actually properly act, properly, respectfully, faithfully, lovingly. You can exchange, you can do service, you can do everything. Even for if you put spirituality on the side, even materially speaking also. You'll be very respectful to your parents and you'll serve them, you'll treat them with elders, superiors. If you don't put Guru, Krishna, and Sadhu, Shastra in the center of life, there is no way because just 3 months of material will kick in and you can't operate it. You can't operate it. That's what happened to Kauravas. He forgot his master, Balram. And when he came, when I think Samba was taken to marry Lakshmana, he didn't follow. He was rather criticizing Lord Krishna. Who are you? We are the great. We have given the position to you. So, and now you think that you are the greatest personality. You can do this. No way we are going to allow you. We'll show you what is our power. And then Lord Balram already said, he said, don't worry, Lord Krishna, I will go and dissolve this. He came at the outskirts of his city, the Hastinapur, and he sent a message. Hopefully, he thought that at least they understand I came to resolve the situation, they will become peaceful and come to the truth. But they didn't pay any attention. Rather, it instigated even further. When Lord Balram becomes angry, that's it. Everything is finished. There's nothing. Nobody can check. Even Lord Krishna will not even go there, as he did with who's that? Rukmini's brother. So in the gambling match, yeah. So nobody will do anything when Lord Balram gets angry. So that's what happened here. Lord Balram became so angry that he could go and insult Lord Krishna. Who do you think you are? Then immediately he took his plow and right away about to scratch the whole thing, and the whole Hastinapur is like became like a raft going into the ocean. So as soon as they started seeing that tremors of the earth, then immediately they understood this is only Lord Balram can do. Then they came to the senses. They should have come before, but they couldn't understand it. They were so much in false pride, false prestige. So that is these things has to be. That's why we have to keep every day. This is the main instruction, key instruction in this particular pastime. So much instruction for us to keep day in day out Guru Sadhu more than the Lord, especially Sri Prabhupada or Panda Acharya and Tulsi Marani and the sadhus in our center and right, center and left in our life on a everyday basis. We have to submit. Day begins with that submission, day ends with that submission. Then we can properly practice devotion. Otherwise, there is no way, absolutely no way. We cannot act properly. It doesn't give that strength has to be borrowed from them. Ei nivedanadaru sakiranu sevadikara dekoro nijadasi. That's why when we go to temple, you make sure you offer obeisance to Prabhupada and you also make sure you offer obeisance to Tulsi Maharani. Without her mercy, there is no way we can act properly and neither Lord will accept us. And if you are going to do that, the dressing, you make sure that you offer Tulsi leaves to the lotus feet of the Lord. Mangalarati, Shaina, doesn't matter what service you going for half an hour or 15-minute service. You make sure that you remember and you offer Tulsi. Otherwise, your service is not complete. Lord is not going to accept your service. Doesn't matter how great you are in dressing, how great you are doing, whatever you are doing. It is just simply, he is not going to accept. That we have to remember. Generally, we forget. So this is important principle to understand. Even at home also, try to offer Tulsi Maharani's service. That is the main service. Otherwise, you keeping it green, nice, fresh, not so important because she's not pleased with that. She wants to be at the lotus feet of the Lord. When she is being not offered, then it simply you want to just keep her, not actually engage, connect her with the Lord. These things have to be understood. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did that. Water in Tulsi leaves pastime is also there in Chaitanya Bhagavat. These are the principles Prabhupada is teaching regularly. So now let us read the purport with that context, understanding the background of the instruction of this pastime. Lord Shiva understood that sati, purport by Sri Prabhupada. Lord Shiva understood that Sati, being the youngest daughter of Daksha, could present the case of Lord Shiva's purity of purpose and would thus be able to mitigate the misunderstanding between Daksha and himself. But such a compromise was not attained. That's the reason she went. But his father became so impudent. Sati was deliberately insulted by her father, deliberately. It's even worse. Knowingly, then at least somehow or the other it could have fixed the problem, but no, it deliberately did that. Insulted by her father by not being received properly when she visited his house without being invited, that she will be killed pretty soon. So, not even Lord Shiva sends his associates. That's enough. He doesn't need to come personally. Sati herself, neither he deserves it. Sati herself could have killed her father Daksha because she is the personified material energy and has immense power to kill and create within this material universe. And that's also important in itself. She has a power, but she doesn't do because she knows. So Lord Shiva is there, so and is our own father. She knows the etiquette. She knows it because she is in charge of this material. She knows everything, what to be done, what not to be done. So that's why she gave up her body. So that means we also have to be always take the guidance of a sadhu, guru. If guru is there, well, we should take our guru's representative, what to be done and how to do it. So even though we may know right thing to do, but it's always consulting as per the important things we should consult so that we do it rightly. So we should be empowered by an acharya, guru, and sadhu. Then the result will be right. Lord will be pleased with that. So again and again, this is the process. Look at all the examples. So Narada Muni or Dhruva Maharaj or Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even when they are ready to go to spiritual world, also they are circumambulating the sages, circumambulating the guru. This is the essential principle. That means one has to be empowered, one has to be blessed by the sadhu and guru. Day we forget, that day will be implicated with three modes and we can't even chant, we can't wake up, we can't hear. So many things. These are because of that only. Shraddha is very much lacking. The respect and faith on the Guru, submission is lacking. So the naturally it implicates us automatically. So that's why we can't forget that. And day in, day out, we have to remember that. But although she is so powerful, she acts under the direction of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, as his shadow. It would not have been difficult for Sati to punish her father. But she thought that she was his daughter. It was not proper for her to kill him. Thus, she decided to give up her own body which she had obtained from his, Daksha did not even check her. So that is a great problem. If we see something, then we should try to do something, or we should inform the authorities, inform the respected so devotees, so that they can take the action. When Sati passed away, giving up her body, the news was conveyed by Narada to Lord Shiva. Narada always carries the news. Carries the news of such events because he knows their import. He knows exactly what to be done because he's always direct in touch with the Lord. Lord is giving all the intelligence, all the knowledge, and what is to be done. When Lord Shiva heard that his chaste wife Sati was dead, he naturally became exceedingly angry. He also understood that Bhrigu Muni had created the Argu Deva demigods by uttering the mantras of the Yajurveda, that these demigods had driven away of all of his soldiers, Nandiswara, etc., were present in the arena of sacrifice. Therefore, he wanted to reply to this insult. And thus he decided to kill Daksha because he was the cause of the death of the Sati. So then this is the important purport. Prabhupada is explaining about how one insults, then the consequences are very severe in many places, as we are referring. So many places. So, and then Lord tells even the insulted by Avanti Brahmana. The Avanti Brahmana was with his family, wife, and everything. When everything was there, it's fine. But then when it was not going good, then so the anyway he was also become too greedy. He himself was not enjoying, and he was not letting having even basic necessities for his wife and others. So he came to the point. Then everybody started insulting him and doing so. Then he could realize. Then he went to the pilgrimage. He was performing all the process of devotion service. Then he realized who's telling? Lord Krishna is telling to Uddhava this whole pastime, how to protect ourselves from the insult and how to tolerate it. And then he gave this point, and this is the famous verse when they take sannyas, they chant this out of this verse. एतां स आस्ताय परात्मनिष्ठम् अध्यासितं पूर्वतमैर्महर्षिभिः अहं तरिष्यामि दुरन्तपारं तमो मुकुन्दाङ्घ्रि निषेवय एव. That means one should serve the Lord Mukunda and his associates. I shall cross over the insurmountable ocean of nescience by being firmly fixed in the service of the lotus feet of Krishna. This was approved by the previous acharyas who are fixed in firm devotion to the Lord, Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the famous, this is the, also one of the example. We should try to serve the Lord and Lord's devotees, especially. So Lord's representatives. So then we can come out here, the Gaur Leela. महान तेरा अपमान यही देश ग्राम हया एक जनार दोषे सभा देश उजाड़ आया. Whenever an advanced devotee is insulted for one man's fault, the entire town or place is afflicted. In this case, this is the pastime of Ramachandra Khan insulting Haridas Thakur, the glories of Haridas Thakur, the whole instructions, one by one, the whole town itself implicated. So that's why one should be very careful not to do any of this, and one should be practicing it in that basis so that we don't even come to that thought process. Because when thought comes, naturally one will act automatically. So here, further down. So, having Ramachandra Khan has spoken right where the servant informed Lord Nityan, my dear sir, Sri Ramachandra Khan sent me to accommodate you in some common man's house. You might go to the house of milkman, for the cowshed is spacious, whereas the space here in Durga Mandap is insufficient because you have many followers with you. When Lord Nityananda heard this order from the servant of Ramachandra Khan, he became very angry and came out laughing very loudly. He spoke as follows: Ramachandra Khan has spoken rightly. This place is unfit for me. It is fit for cow killing meat eaters. Having said this, Lord Nityananda stood up and left in angry mood to chastise Ramachandra Khan. He did not even stay in that village. Ramachandra Khan ordered a servant to dig up the dirt in that place where Nityananda Prabhu had sat. That's even worse. That means he's thinking that it became impure now. He has no idea who the personality is. To purify the Durga Mandap temple and the courtyard, Ramachandra Khan sprinkled and smeared it with water mixed with cow dung, but still his mind was unsatisfied. Ramachandra Khan's business was questionable, for he tried to avoid paying income tax. Therefore, the government minister of finance was angry and came to his residence. And see the consequences of what has happened. The Muslim minister made his residence in the Durga Mandap of Ramachandra Khan. He killed a cow and cooked the meat at that very place. He arrested Ramachandra Khan along with his wife and sons, and then he continuously plundered his house and village for 3 days. In that very room, he cooked the flesh of a cow on 3 consecutive days. Then the next day he left, accompanied followers. The Muslim minister took away Ramachandra Khan's position, wealth, and followers. For many days, the village remained deserted. Whenever an advanced devotee is insulted for one man's fault, the entire town or place is afflicted. Haridas Thakur walked until he came to the village known as Chandapur. There he stayed at the house of Balram Acharya. So this is another one, Gopal Chakravarti. He again acts impudently. Haridas Thakur is telling the glories from the Shastra and he doesn't have any belief. He doesn't believe it. He couldn't understand the position of Haridas Thakur. Balram Acharya understood, Govardhan Majumdar understood, they all understood. But he thought, I am the scholar. How could you say that chanting the holy name with even Nam Abbas, Nam Aparad, the first stage, Nam Abbas is the clearing stage, chanting the holy name without offenses, like Ajamil did. So that gives the liberation. Oh, is it so? So for liberation, one has to do so many things. And you are saying simply by chanting the holy name, like in Nam Abbas stage, one can get liberation. It's impossible. So what you are telling is not right. So he didn't accept naturally. So he got the leprosy and then his nose fell down. Came to his senses. He was crying and he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, I'm not going to give you mercy. You will suffer millions of lifetimes. Again, he begged the Lord. The Lord said, now you go. You go to Haridas Thakur and beg. Same thing happened to Srivas Thakur. Another pastime is also like that. So that's why one should be very careful of paying attention to what Guru has to say. Today also we have opportunity to hear from His Grace Dena Bandhu Prabhu, coming from all the way from Vrindavan Dham. He serves Tulsi Marani there and many other services. So we should be there and we should hear and we should serve. We should be respectful, very faithful and attentive to what he has to say, understand and inquire submissively. So that way we can actually benefit immensely, and our faith can increase, our devotion can increase to the Lord and our founder Acharya. So that's why Prabhupada left us with that. Cooperate among each other, work together. Difference of opinion will always be there, but work together, cooperate and serve together. Try to understand, forget and forgive. So faults will be there. Everybody, if you are not faulty, then we'd be in the spiritual world. If you don't do mistakes, mistakes is fine, but we have to rectify, we have to understand and move on. Serve with more and more intensity and service attitude and go on to please acharyas. This is the main purport for this chapter. Refer to those pastimes of Balram's, Lord Balram against Kauravas, or Indra's Govardhan Lila. So that pastimes we will see important instructions how not to commit these things, how to rectify this. It can only be rectified if you are in the right association of devotees regularly. One has to pay attention. Bhagavatam class is important, chanting of the holy name, waking up early in the morning. These two are most important. Anybody who is not doing these two things, there is no way he can act appropriately, he can be respectful, he can be faithful, he can do devotion service. Anybody is neglecting these two things anywhere in this world, doesn't matter how many years practicing, there is no way that person can act properly in devotional service. Not possible. Shastra is very clear about it. Chanting and hearing has to be done appropriately every day. And Prabhupada knows in Kali Yuga what will work. So that he established this process. Anybody neglecting Acharya's instructions, there is no way he can actually please the Acharya. This is Guru Ravagna, then automatically Na Gati Kutopi, no destination for them. So this has to be paid attention. So very much, very carefully. Bhagavad Shravan and Sadhu Sangha with holy name, chanting of the holy name. Nam Kirtan, Nam Sankirtan. Thank you, Hare Krishna. So stop here. I think we are right on time. Hare Krishna. Okay, I think Madhava Prabhu is there. Somebody can close it up with Vanchakalpatarubhyasya and yeah, prayers to Narsingh Dev. Jai Prakash Prabhu, Amrutana Prabhu. Go ahead. Srinivasa Prabhu, go ahead.
You can do, Prabhuji. You can close. Go ahead.
पंचाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपासिन्धुभ्यो च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। श्री नरसिम्हा जय नरसिम्हा जय जय नरसिंह प्रहलादेश जय पद्म मुख पद्म उग्रम वीरम महाविष्णु जलम तम नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय। भक्त प्रहलाद महाराज की जय।
Jai.
Let's offer our respectful best to all the Vaishnavas and also Sri Prabhupada, our spiritual masters, ISKCON, Guru Varga. Thank you very much. Thank you for your kind association. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada ki
Hare
jai.
Krishna.
Bhagavatam.
Thank you, everybody. Hari Bol. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Super Hare Bol.